Hey, what's the deal? This is KLA, the Wanderer. It's the first day of June, and time is moving fast, but I'm still doing my thing. I would like to introduce you guys to Deborah Baker. She's
Hello.
a fitness instructor. How you doing?
Not bad, thank you.
Yeah. So you're in the UK, huh?
I am in the UK. I'm right at the bottom, right near the coast, basically, away from
Oh,
everyone.
I never been to the UK. What's it like there? Is it like it's like New York. It has similarities.
Parts of it do, yeah. So more like the cities and stuff. So obviously like London. But I think New York's probably a lot more. It's a lot bigger for sure, a bit more built
Yeah.
up. But yeah, the cities are more like that. But I live more in like in the countryside with coast. So I live down the bottom end of it. It's a very small country, very very small. It's an island, so yeah, it's not a
Okay.
lot going on. Not down here anyway.
Okay. You've been to other places besides you've been in the United States.
No, I haven't.
No?
No, I'm going this year. I'm gonna go watch the Olympia this year. So I'm gonna go to I think it's in Florida this year.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard.
yeah. And I do
heard.
want to go to New York City as well. That will be somewhere that's on the bucket list, somewhere to go.
Yeah. How's like the I don't know like what's the Olympia gonna be like this year. Like do you have any ideas or
No. I mean, I don't really. I because I like all the different categories. I only watch certain ones. Like I don't watch the fitness ones because they're really long. But there's like there's constantly different athletes going in, isn't there? There's like new up and coming ones to watch. So no, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like, and I don't. It's a different venue as well, isn't it?
yeah, I would think I never been I'm not one up on it because I've been kind of focusing on the past competitions here, like the Pittsburgh and
Yeah.
the New York Pro and
Yeah.
so yeah. So how you got started into bodybuilding?
So it's really strange because everyone always asks me that. So it's I was completely opposite end of the spectrum, really. Like, you know a little bit about me. So I started off doing fashion modeling, and I lived in London at that point as well. So I've been doing that for a long, long time. And I literally one day just got absolutely sick of it, and I was like, right, I'm not doing this anymore. I've had enough because they kind of want you to lose a lot of weight. They want to dictate what you look like. You need to have this look and this. And I was like, you know what, I'm sick. I'm sick of it. I'm not doing it anymore. So I packed that in, moved back to Cornwall, which is where I'm now, right down the bottom. And I just, started being like a relatively normal human being. To what extent that can be, I don't know, because I'm not a normal human being anyway. But back to doing daily sort of things, just like eating normal. And then I met my first partner at the time, and I went to the gym anyway. I did running. I did like the boxer size fit classes and stuff like that. But I didn't really have the knowledge that I have now in terms of like the nutrition side of it, the rest of recovery, etc. I just did it for fun, did that with my sister for a bit. And then I met my partner who went to quite an old school sort of, spit and sawdust bodybuilding gym. And he sort of went in, did the weights. I went in the cardio room, did bits on the treadmill. And, I refused to go into the weight room for ages. It's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. That's not for me. And bit by bit, he sort of convinced me, come in, just do a little bit of like stuff on your arms, do a little bit of legs. And I was like, I'm fine. But that mentality of I'm not doing too much because I don't want to look like, a man or whatnot. So it was that mentality, which is the opposite now. And then it kind of just went from there, really. The more I did it, the more I enjoyed it, the more results I saw, or the more I wanted to have more. So it was one of those things that just built up over time. And that was back in 2014. I thought it was 2015, but I
Mhm.
had some photos and stuff pop up on like a timeline reminder, and it was actually 2014 when I started doing it. So that's like 9 years nearly um, that I've been doing it for. And yeah, I just kind of fell into it from there. Like my dad's side of my family's into bodybuilding as well, so it's always been there. But it's not something I aspired to do from like a young age at all. It's just something I kind of just fell into, and it just stuck with me. And I've done that ever since, really.
Did you like participate in other sports like besides running or?
So during that time, so during my teen years, not really. It was just running. During my childhood, I did stuff like mixed martial arts, kickboxing, skateboarding, rollerblading, motocross. I did all sorts, but it was mainly more sort of like, I suppose, like boys' sports. I didn't really do like dance or anything like that. I just did more of like the
Yeah, that's
contact.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, yeah, because I mean, you didn't have that physique and stuff, like, like just that step to open a door for bodybuilding, because you're
Yeah.
doing mixed martial arts. That physique got to be, on point, and
Mm,
push ups.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, because I mean, I never did bodybuilding, but I did like cardio, ran, and
Mm,
and other stuff. I did a little bit of martial arts, but not like that. I did
yeah.
like Tai Chi at one point, and
Mm,
I do like meditation currently.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I mean. Everyone's different, aren't they? I mean, if I ever did something to keep fit later on in life, it would definitely be some type of like martial arts or something to, yeah, just keep me fit and healthy. Because I'll always do something. Like I'll always train the way I train. I mean, we know
yeah,
you've got a life, you've got a shelf life for competing, but I'll always do something to keep myself fit and healthy. And I'll always train because it's not something I can give up. It's I suppose it's part of like an obsession just to keep fit and healthy. And the gym somewhere I've always gone if I'm like, need to blow off some steam, go to the gym. If I want to do something, I'll go to the gym. So it's just something that's like deep ingrained now to keep fit and healthy.
uh, so currently, like, you're like a fitness trainer, an online fitness trainer.
Yeah, so I'm an online coach. So I mainly train like my my client base actually mainly men. Like I've got women, but the majority of them are
Yeah,
actually men. So I actually help like guys put on like a lot of muscle. Like that's one of my main things, and I do posing coaching as well. So I love my posing. So that's something. Again, when I started, I was absolutely horrendous. I couldn't move, had no coordination, and now I've learned tricks around it. I then help other people with that really. So yeah, it's a mixture of coaching, bodybuilders or people that just want to get in really good shape, and posing coaching as well.
do they don't do the guys, they don't feel me like like intimidated, or like have like this attraction with you, like she's training, or feel funny that you're a woman and stuff like that, or
I don't. Do you know what the ones that I train actually prefer it because some I think a couple of them explained to me when they've got male coaches. Sometimes it can be a little bit, especially if they're in decent shape, it can be a little bit of like a bad competition. But I don't think so. I mean, the ones that I coach don't have that thing. They'll listen to me, like, and if they're not pulling their weight, like I'll tell them, like, you've got to do this, otherwise it's not going to happen. Like I'm not horrible to them, but they hire me for a
right,
reason. But I don't think so. I mean, general public, like going out to general public and walking around, especially now because it's really hot here at the minute. If I go out in a vest top or something, or I speak to someone, like they do put a guard up with me, and that's just because it's still not very much like something that's accepted in society. Like holy crap, like that girl's got way more muscle than me, or it's something that does still exist. But my clients, no, they're not like that. But like I said, general public, yeah, they are still like that.
yeah. I just asked because it can be it for me it could be conflicting, like not I don't know, I don't want you to take it the wrong way. It can be intimidated. I don't think I've been intimidated with women with muscles, but
Mm,
like but in the past, like I would say, like it was without muscle, and
mm,
sometimes they would kind of like, if they knew something, they would, it's not every woman, but
mm,
it's like there's characters, they act, they a woman, and you're a guy, they want to belittle you in certain knowledges that they know and
yeah,
stuff.
but
I've dealt with that,
yeah,
so
and
that's
you know what? They exist, and there's so many women out there like that. And to be honest, like I've been told a lot of the time, I think like a guy, like I'm very black and white, and I'm very direct and honest with people, and that's just how I am, whether they're man, woman, whatever.
right.
I'm direct with them, and if they don't like it, they can just go somewhere else because that's just
Yeah,
how I am as a person, and I generally don't get along. Again, I'm a woman and I'm allowed to say this. I generally don't get along with women very well. They just we just don't click. And that's just
Yeah,
general. That's just normal women, bodybuilding women. Yeah, I get along with them, but again, they still, there's some of them that still exist that I just don't get on
yeah.
with. That's just it's a
I
type
mean,
of
that's
person.
normal. Yeah, it's normal. Like men ain't go. I don't always get along with men too. It doesn't matter. But a lot of times, we men we compete. Like you said before, we like competing against each other. And so, like when a woman comes to the mix with muscles or anything like that, it be like complicated. But like with men, it can be, I kind of understand what you're saying. But women against women, and it's. Am I making sense, or you understand what I'm saying? Hello? I think she froze. I think she froze. Oh, okay. I'm gonna read the comments. Mateo, wow, but she not here. I think her thing is froze. I hope I ain't scared off. Okay. I'm gonna read the comments. Wow, Deborah can flex your biceps. She's back, guys.
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know if that was you or me, but something.
Yeah, it's okay. As long as I didn't scare you off. I'm gonna read the
No.
comments. But you understood what I was trying to say, like, like men and men we gonna clash, and women and women gonna clash. It's
Oh yeah.
it's normal. So I
Yeah.
kind of understand.
Yeah. We
Mateo, huh?
I said, yeah,
Oh, you
I
can
clash
read.
with most people, to be fair.
Yeah. Wow, Deborah. Okay, Deborah
Oh,
face is really beautiful.
oh, thank you.
Mateo, yeah, my guy Rolando. Hello, Baker, adore English. He likes your accent. Women, you look incredible. Mateo, Deborah can flex biceps. Can't
I'll
flex her
I'll,
biceps.
I'll do one. I'll do one because I can't see where the camera. There you go. There you go. I
Yeah,
walked
that's perfect.
earlier.
Yeah, I have the pictures of you. Really. Yeah. I could show them real quick. I have the
Yeah, yeah.
clips, but I'm scared. But I'm kind of scared to show the clips because they'll give me right. You look nice, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Finland. That's from the other day. Um, yeah,
So
I've
what?
competed a few times.
No, I was like, actually, what was like your first competition like?
Oh, so my first one, so I did in 2016, and that was for a federation. Are you familiar with NABA?
No, I'm afraid not.
No, that's okay. So it's more. I think they do have NABA internationally, but it's more in the UK. So I did that, and they don't have category, so to speak, like the IF.
When I say I got the shooters, baby, no, I'm not puffing, busting.
You've got like in the IFBB, you've got stuff like figure, women's. So you've got bikini, figure, fitness, women's physique, bodybuilding. So they're like the main ones. And then in like stuff like NABA, and you've got ones called PCA, like they're different federations that aren't IFBB accredited, basically. And when I
Yeah.
competed, they have like, say they have figure, for instance, they have subcategories of those. So they'll have like toned, athletic train. So each one that goes up in those subcategories, it's similar shape, but it's obviously like more muscularity and more conditioning as they work their way through. Excuse me. And
I'm
then,
sorry to cut you off. Did you hear when I put the clip on? Did you hear the sound?
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Ah, crap. I'm gonna get it. Oh well.
That's right. That's cool. So yeah, I literally competed in something called athletic figure. So I
Yeah.
prepped myself at this point as well, because I prepped myself and coached myself for the first 4 years. And I didn't win the first show. Like I had no clue what I was doing. I got lean, but I didn't carb up. I didn't do anything properly. Like, so it was a massive learning curve for me. And looking, you know, on the day I was disappointed, but looking back at it with a sound mind, even a few days later, I was like, yeah, I can see why I didn't place. So I went straight back in the gym, worked my butt off, went back the next year and came second out of like quite a big lineup. Got like a British invite. So that was in 2017. Then I competed a few more times in 2018. From then on, I'm always placed in top three. I've never placed outside of top three. Did it again in 2019. I won some titles in 2019. I had 2020 off. And then at that point, 2021, I went into, obviously I was competing within the IFBB, like amateur ranks. 2021, I did figure and women's physique. I came like second in figure, and when I did physique, that's where they were like, right, you need to be in this category because, you know, you're too big for figure. Like, my arms have always been quite big. And if you look at figure athletes, they've got big cap delts, but their arms aren't massive. So, and just the way my physique is, I suppose it's like not, I haven't got a massive waist. Like, I can bring my waist down very small in prep, but I haven't got the tiny figure girl waist. So my proportions obviously have to come up a little bit more for that. But I did well in physique and won an overall title and took the sword home, so to speak, for that one. 2022, so last year, I went and just did physique. I cleaned up with like 3 competitions there. So I did the regional, won that one, and won the overall in that. Went to Finland, won the overall. Missed out on my pro card because there had to be 5 athletes. So there were only 4, and they're like, no, we want you to go. You can appeal it now. And they said, like, no, you're going to have to go into the British. So I flew back to the UK, and the woman that I beat 2 weeks previously, she beat me at the British. So I'd lost out just because I don't think my body could have done. It doesn't work for me to do 3 shows on the trot. So it was just a bit too much. And I was flying all over the place. I was like shooting commercials at this point as well. So I was doing other work alongside prepping. And I think my body just had enough. I came on stage a kilo lighter at the British, but the look was it just looked tired. So yeah, I did decent last year. And this year I was like, right, I need a bit of time off just for my head, my body, give it a bit of a rest and just put some size on now. So my plans are to compete next year. When, I don't know, probably maybe midpoint, depends on how much size I can put on. And I'm going for figure just because, you know, I didn't know how well I could do in physique, but I'll probably do physique as well, just to see sort of, again, where I sit. So see what the judges say, and then I can decide, you know, as and when I do turn pro, do I compete as a figure athlete or as physique athlete? Because the physique girls are massive. The figure girls are big, but the physique girls are huge. And like, I have decent genetics, but some of them are just out of this world, crazy big. They've got the conditioning and stuff. Like, I can get good conditioning, but they're a force to be reckoned with. They are big. It's a different realm, isn't it? In the pro leagues.
Yeah. I mean, how do you stay healthy, like mentally or physically, like dealing with that, like as a bodybuilder?
What, during prep or just generally?
Yeah, general, like just I like the stuff that you just told me, like in a sense of like doing all the traveling and you know and the prep and isn't that like it sounds it's a lot. Like, I mean, I don't know, like
it is a lot. So I actually suffer from ADHD. So my head's whizzing around 20 miles an hour all the time, like 100 miles an hour, whatever it be. And so when I get into something, you get like a hyper focus. So when I go into prep, I can hyper focus quite well. I can manage everything. And it sounds strange. In off season, people think, yeah, you've got all this time, you can chill and relax. No, not really, because you still need to be putting in the effort to improve. Obviously, I run my own business. So it's all about finding the time. You've got to learn how to juggle things, and you've got to be structured, and you've got to plan stuff. Like, I have apps and calendars and stuff telling me where I've got to be and what I've got to do. But when I'm in prep, it's really strange. It almost clicks in like once you get into that new routine, you squeeze every ounce out of your time. Like, you make sure everything, like I said, has to be super, super, super structured and to the point. So the traveling and stuff, like I love prep, and the traveling and all the other jobs and stuff I get alongside it, I'm very, very grateful for, because it means I have the ability to do what I love, is bodybuilding, compete, and also then do other stuff that then puts bodybuilding in a good light, in, you know, mainstream media and stuff like that. So I enjoy it. I mean, not everyone can deal with that kind of thing because it's very full on. But I tend to turn into almost like a hermit crab when I'm in prep. The initial weeks, I'm fine because there's nothing really drastic going on. But towards the back end, I tend to try and back away from social media a bit. I don't really socialize in prep either. I literally go in with my head down. I don't like any distractions. And just get it done. I do enjoy it, but I just need to have that focus. And then when off season comes in, then I do put more time back into my family, my friends and stuff, because they've helped me during prep, sort of, you know, not sort of, I've said to them before, like, I can't really go out and socialize with you, but I'll make it up to you later in the year. And I do. So it's having people around you that understand it as well is very important.
Do you have like what? Are you a wife or mother or?
No. So I've got 2 dogs. That's literally it. And I don't currently. I don't have a partner. It sounds strange, but it's easier to do it without a partner, to do prep without a partner, because especially like most of them have been bodybuilders or into bodybuilding, but even they find it difficult to be in a relationship with someone that preps because it's a very selfish sport anyway, but it's very selfish. And if they're not willing to, be like, right, that's fine, you've got to sit down and chill out and eat, or you've got to go to bed early. Like, some people don't want to do that. They want to get all of your attention and all of your energy. So they be willing to leave you be. And if they don't, it's very cutthroat. I mean, if they don't do that, then they're not the partner for me, I'm afraid, because that's my life. So they have to fit in with those values I hold, really.
I mean, a lot of there's a lot of female bodybuilders, like they're like mothers and wives and stuff. And sometimes I'll conversate with them about how do you deal with prep, knowing that you got kids and your husband, or that's a lot. Like I had like this thought, like they should make a reality show about a female bodybuilder or something, like but unfortunately it seems like bodybuilders, they're not really, they kind of, let me say, shunned by society a little bit. It's not put out there like that, so
I mean, I have friends that are mothers and wives, and they've got a lot of people dependent on them, and they do prep. And I just say to them, I don't know how you do it. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I suppose you kind of have no choice. But I mean, I've got my 2 dogs, and they're demanding enough for me. Like, that's plenty, and like, they're little chihuahuas. That's plenty. But I mean, I don't know how they do it with kids. And I mean, I know people that have like 4 or 5 kids that do it as well, and they're all different. So they demand a lot of time. So I mean, respect to the women that do it with kids, because that is crazy.
I remember I interviewed somebody. They had, like, she was like my first person I interviewed, and she had 6 kids. She took some time off. Yeah, she took some time off. Yeah, she did the same thing you was doing, like a fitness trainer and stuff. And she was telling me a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, wow. I think the interview lasted like 14 minutes, but it wasn't a bad interview. But
there's some crazy people out there. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's wow. It's a strange phenomenon. Like, what's your workout routine like?
So I train 5 to 6 times a week. So the 6th day will be dependent on how well I'm recovering in the week. I mean, I get people like, Deb, you need to work on your legs. Deb, you need to, I know I've got to work on my legs. That's what I'm doing. So I'm training those 2 or 3 times a week, again, depending on recovery. And then I just train like upper body bits just once a week. So I'll sometimes do a mixture. So I coach myself at the moment as well. So I'll just do like back, maybe a little bit of shoulders with back. I'll do a whole shoulder day with a little bit of chest. I'll do a chest day with a little bit of shoulders, and then I'll just throw some abs in a few times a week as well, because I want them to be a little bit more prominent. They're there, but I just want them to be a bit thicker as well. So yeah, I'm trying to bring up my top line a bit more. So just wider shoulders. Again, that's going to help with the V taper. and it's going to give the illusion of my waist being a bit smaller. And then obviously I'm working on my legs. I mean, my legs actually aren't small. It's just because my upper half is so big.
Yeah.
It overshadows the rest. And I don't train it frequently in the week. Like I train it once a week just to hold it. But again, like arms, for instance, I hit them once or twice a week, and just literally do a couple of sets for each group, and that's it. I don't really
Yeah.
want to do too much on them because they will grow even more, and then it will overshadow my delts, and then I have to push the delts up even more, and it's like continual chasing it. So
Well, what's your inches of your arms? Like your arms are really very big though.
I don't actually know. I don't know. I think that
Yeah.
I measured them probably 2 years ago, and I think they were like 14 at the time then, and they're bigger now. But they started at 10 inches when I first I had small arms when I started. But I honestly I don't know.
Oh, do you tend to grow any bigger or?
Yeah, they my upper tends to grow quite well. Like it that's what I mean. I just
I
have to
mean,
try.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean like what I'm trying to say. Would you want to go to like a level of female bodybuilder, like the division instead of
No,
physique? Oh,
no,
okay. I just wanted to make you
no.
because there's
Do you know what? If I naturally fit into it and it was effortless to get that sort of size, then
yeah
yeah. But no, only because I really like the shape and flow of both figure and women's physique. I like those. Women's bodybuilding is just another realm again. Like they are massive, and
yeah
I don't think anyone would ever beat Andrea Shaw. To be fair, like I think she's the
yeah
type forever.
yeah. She's like the I don't know you familiar with LeBron James, but
Yeah.
she's the LeBron James female bodybuilder.
Yeah, and do you know what? She's very like feminine as well. She's held
Yeah
a lot of her femininity, which is again at that size and that level is very difficult to do. So
yeah
and she's just got beautiful lines, beautiful shape. Again, I admire them. I think they're amazing, but it's just not a size I would want to get to. I mean, just generally, like even if I go clothes shopping with my sister, who is an actress and a model, she can just go out and buy something and get in it. I've got to try on God knows how many different things. They all have
yeah
to be back. They've all got to be sleeveless. I've got to go to a wedding this weekend. I've had to go through don't know how many dresses to try on just to get it. It's little things like that, which it sounds silly, but it's any bigger, and I'm literally going to have like tailored clothes or something. It's a bit of a nightmare with that kind of stuff.
The last person I interviewed, they was telling me about to a certain point, sometimes it's not comfortable, for women to have muscles and stuff.
No, it can. It depends on the size you are as well. Like so, it's extra weight you're carrying for your frame,
Right.
and it's little things like if you're walking, say I'm walking now, it's hot, and you're wearing shorts, your legs are rubbing together, and then you're getting
Yeah.
like, that hurts.
Yeah.
You're trying things on. Like I get stuff stuck literally on my shoulders,
Right.
and then frustrating trying to get it on or off.
Mm.
And then again, like I said, because we're holding more muscle, we're running at a higher temperature anyway. You
Yeah.
get hot quite a lot, even sleeping you get hot. Like it's like little things like that are just, and again, like finding clothes can be an issue. I mean, there's issues with excuse me, everything that you do, but they're like little common things that you sort of come up like you just have to you learn to deal with them. But I mean, it's all a choice, isn't it? Like no one's forcing us to do
Yeah,
it.
I know. I mean, but the thing is, I kind of understand why you guys are like that. Like, and I'm sure other people do. Like, because I've seen like not just you, but like other bodybuilders, like the before pictures, and they were like either thin or they were overweight, and and I kind of understand. Like, I guess you felt the burn of working out. You just took it to that extent of want to compete, and you just in that zone. And
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean,
so
like I said, I enjoy the off season as well. Like people are like, oh, I have so many people come to me. They're like, I don't enjoy the off season. I don't enjoy holding the extra weight. And I mean, there's a thing of holding extra weight and getting sloppy. You know, I've done off seasons before, like like time and time again, like, you know, back in the earlier days where I've been, I suppose, sloppy, and it just makes it difficult to get back down to, you know, a decent sort of composition for prep. And it doesn't really help you putting on muscle. Like, people chase numbers in off season in terms of like body weight, and I think people
Yeah.
should do that. You know, because then it's like, cool, you've packed on, you know, I don't know, 10, 15 kilos, but you know, how much of that's muscle and how much of that is fat? Like, it's, you know, you've got to be careful of what you're doing. But I mean, I enjoy the off season, I enjoy prep, I enjoy all of it. You know, you've got to be able to enjoy it, because if you don't, how on earth are you
Yeah.
meant to improve when you go on stage again? So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like in terms of dieting and nutrition, like how do you, like, is there certain foods you eat or stay away from, or?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say to you like I eat like clean all the time. That would be a lie,
Yeah.
and it'd be BS, and I don't think
Yeah.
anybody does. But I mean, my day-to-day diet, yeah, is pretty clean. I have like IBS and dairy intolerance and stuff like that. Well, I don't really have IBS so much anymore, but I have digestive issues, so to speak. So over the years, I've sort of honed in on what works for me, what I can digest, what doesn't cause me inflammation. So I've picked out foods that, you know, work well for me, and just stuck to them really, and then just like increased or decreased them depending on what phase I'm in. And you know, from the odd time I have like an off-plan meal. I mean, I don't really like eating. You know, I don't sit there and eat chocolate and stuff, or you know, that kind. I can't eat it because I'm dairy intolerant. But B, I don't really enjoy eating stuff like that anymore. I've never been one for it. Like, post show, everyone wants to eat stuff like that because you've been deprived of stuff for 20 plus weeks and you've just got
Yeah.
like craving for it. But do I sit and eat that every day? Hell no. And I'm not wasting my calories eating that kind of stuff either because I want to grow.
Yeah.
But I will,
Yeah.
like, I will have like, I don't know, like a burger, like on an off plan meal. I'll have a nice steak or something, or not really. I don't mind pizza, but again, I wouldn't use that as an off plan meal at the moment. Again, waste the calories. I'd rather have something else. But yeah, just generally quite just like lean meats. Even if it's like beef, I'll still have that lean turkey, chicken, white fish. I hate salmon. I had a bad experience with salmon. I can't eat that anymore.
Mm.
Eggs, you know, and just like the nice carbs, like so I have rice, sweet potato, oats, cream of rice. So I'll eat basically most stuff that, again, that doesn't cause me issues.
You ever thought of, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. What about being a vegan or anything like that? I got a friend that's a vegan.
So I was a vegetarian, which is
Yeah.
it's not good enough nowadays. But I was a vegetarian for a year back when I did modeling, and then yeah, like fine. And
Yeah.
I actually have a couple of friends that are vegan bodybuilders, and they're in decent shape. But me, I like eating meat. Like, I'm, you know, people that are vegans might watch this and think, oh, that's hypocritical to say. Like, I'm a massive animal activist. I don't agree with animals being, you know, treated in a bad way. If that, you know, it should just be done quickly. But you know, for what I'm doing, it's easier for me to do animal source proteins. Like I said, there are people out there do it. Great, you know, hats off to them, but I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe down the line I'll try do like be a veggie or something like that. Maybe I wouldn't ever
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to it. I'm not going to be like, no, I'd never do that, because I've done it before and it wasn't bad. But
Yeah.
currently, for what I'm doing, it's easier for me to do animal sourced meat.
No, I tried to do the vegetarian thing like years ago, and the reason why I did it because when I was like in my 20s, I didn't really have knowledge of consuming food, and
Yeah.
so one time I went to go, you know, get a checkup from the doctor, and he was like, you know, somebody your age, you know, you have your cholesterol is very high.
Mm,
So, you know, I didn't want anything to, you know, I don't want, you know, to catch up to me in a worse way. So I
yeah.
would like get books and about nutrition and stuff.
Mm,
And, like, I don't know, like I started getting skinny. I stayed away from meats and try to even with the junk food and stuff. And so I started really getting skinny. Like
yeah.
my parents, they didn't like the idea how I looked, or my friends. So, you know, yeah, so like I kind of like went back to like chicken and fish and stuff like that, and then slowly I started eating meats and again.
Yeah.
But Yeah, this was like 20, like over like 20 years ago and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to do it, you like, again, when I did it, I wouldn't do it. Sorry, can you be quiet? Shh. You wouldn't do it to the extent like what you did then, because again, it's the knowledge of it. You've got to make sure that you're getting protein from elsewhere. And I did the same sort of thing. I think I take fish. I was supposed to call it like a pescatarian. I take fish, and just like, you know, meat free, whatever, be like corn, or I don't know, like you can get loads of different products, can't you? But I did that. And sorry, 1 second. Come here. Sorry, there. Come here. Right, sorry, 1 second. Come here.
No problem.
I'm gonna have to bring him in because he's being annoying.
Nah, he's cute. He's cute. What's his name?
Oh, this one's Chico,
Hey,
and then I've
GK.
got one on the floor that's looks like a fox. Oh, hang on. Thank you.
I'm gonna read like these comments. Deborah, you look sincerely incredible. You seem like you the bodybuilder natural way.
Oh, thank you.
And Rolando G says, "Wow, that's cool. You train men, and you are cool. Wow, I would not mind a great female bodybuilder competitor to train me. It would be a great motivation. You know, there's some great, you know, some good like female teachers, you know, but yeah, there's just some of them, you know, like I said before, like it's not easy with the women sometimes, but you know, it's not every woman. I just want to.
Definitely not. I mean, again, I think it's a type of person, and I think if as well, if you've got a female trainer, male trainer, and they're making you feel like crap, like they shouldn't be in that job.
Right.
Like there's a way of dealing with athletes, clients that aren't adhering to their plans and stuff, or you know, maybe they're not pushing their weight, but there's a way of which you sort of convey that to your clients. And if they're not doing that in a nice way, sack them off and get someone else, because you've got to get along with your coach. And if they're being horrible, that's not fair. Like, you're paying them as well. So like, they need to be giving you like a decent service, and they need to talk to you with respect. So I mean, if anyone does treat you like that, I'll just they'd be gone.
How when you started, like how was you getting a coach, and like did you have to deal with a lot of transition of getting a coach?
So like I said, the first 4 years or so, I coached myself, and I think I've probably had 1, 2, 3. I've had like 5 coaches in that time. Some of them, like the last one I had was really good. I just wanted to coach myself for the time being. My off season, I like coaching myself in my off season. You know, the one I had previous to that was good. He was different. It was more old school though, like old school, like bodybuilders that do the he wouldn't let me do much cardio. Not the last one who got me all the wins, the one before that. He wouldn't let me do much cardio, which I needed to do to get a better look. And he's one of those old school sort of master bodybuilders that would be like, right, you know, you've dieted all throughout the week, and then it comes Saturday, you have like, you know, kind of like have free reign on the day and eat what you want. I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that. So it was like that. I mean, you got good results, but again, my conditioning, if you look at the difference in the pictures and stuff, my conditioning wasn't that good. I did have one coach who did all right with me, but his he would basically became quite prevalent in the UK. And he must have coached people elsewhere as well, internationally, but he was very inappropriate with his female clients. Like, make inappropriate comments when you send in check-in pictures. It'd be inappropriate. You know, he sent pictures of things to us as well that were inappropriate. Yeah, he lost his coaching business because of that, because one girl came out, and then everyone came out and said, right, look, you know, and you know, proof of it. And you know, I have dealt with that, but only from one coach. You know, so I mean, most of my coaches have been male coaches. Nothing against female coaches, but most of them that I've been coached by have been male coaches. Just how it's been, really. But yeah, I mean, currently I coach myself because I enjoy coaching myself. But I mean, when I go into prep again, I'll most likely have someone oversee that, just because I can prep myself, but it's the fact you're not objective in a prep. Like, you can't look at yourself objectively and be like, oh yeah, you know, I need to put a bit more cardio in, or take some calorie weights here, or, you know, implement this, don't do that. So it's handy having a coach. But yeah, I mean, I think people coach hop too much nowadays. I'll see someone in one season go through like 4 coaches in one season, and I'm like, that's nuts. You know, I've had 5 coaches in 9 years, which I don't think is bad. And there's nothing wrong with moving from coach to coach, because like you might learn things from one coach, you know, move on, and that coach might be better for that part of what you're doing. So there's nothing wrong with it, but I think people tend to coach hop a little bit too much nowadays.
Yeah. You say it's almost sound like it's like school or something like that, if I could say that, like
Yeah.
making a transition.
Yeah, and you'll find as well, when a coach comes out of nowhere and, you know, suddenly they start doing well with all these clients,
Yeah.
then someone will be like, I want to be a part of that team. And then they'll go on, and then they'll stay with them for a little bit. And then another coach comes up that does well, and then they hop onto that one. And I think sometimes, you know, the serious bodybuilders, and that is what they are, if they got results with, and it takes time for a coach to learn how your physique works. So you got to give them time to learn. You know, it's not like they can do that. They need to see how things develop in both off season, prep, so forth. But I think a lot of the time, you know, these athletes or bodybuilders that are just doing it for the sake of it, they're not as serious as the rest of us. They will just want to go with that coach because they think, oh, that will get me, you know, that will get more traffic to my profile, or that will make me more, you know, people want to click on me because they're a famous coach or something like that. And I think that's the issue. A lot of the time, people just want to be prolific for the wrong reasons.
How do you stay motivated? Like what motivates you to do what you do? Like, if I could ask that question.
So, I mean, I always just say to myself, like, what would I be doing if I didn't do bodybuilding? And I honestly don't know. Like, to be motivated, I like the way it makes me feel. I like the sort of the challenge of it. I like keeping myself in shape. You know, I just enjoy bodybuilding. I enjoy the challenges. I'm someone that needs to have structure and challenge. If I don't, then I don't know where I'd be. You know, like, and if I'm wake up one day, you can't always be motivated. None of us are motivated 100% of the time. I just need to be like, right, you know, why no one's forcing you to do it? Why are you doing it? It always comes back to why, and it might sound cheesy, but why am I doing it? I enjoy it. And if I have a crap day, I have a crap day. You just brush it off and move on. You don't give in because you've had 1 or 2 bad days or a bad week. You just keep going, you know, like that's inevitable. You're going to have a bad week. We're human beings. We can't be perfect 100% of the time.
Yeah. We got some comments. Mateo asks, Deborah has YouTube channel. Do you have a
Yeah, it's literally just my name. It's just Deborah Sarah Baker. There's content on there. I tend to try and upload something at least like once a month, which I'm going to start doing now. But I put shorts up on there as well. So
yeah. How many subscribers you have? Like
what, on YouTube?
Yeah.
I think it's like 1,100, nothing like major, but I don't go on there a lot. I'm mainly on Instagram. That's my main sort of platform I'm on, really.
I can never understand like female bodybuilders. It be like a lot of well, I don't know, you know, I've heard that, you know, it's not that many channels catered to the female bodybuilders like that. So, you know, I don't know.
I mean, I'll start putting more content on my YouTube for sure. It's just finding the time, and that sounds really bad, but it's finding the time to actually get someone to record it for me. And where I live, there's not many videographers either. So yeah, it's just about finding someone to do it. But I will get more content up there. You know, I was gonna even just talk around doing like things for females, like even doing your own makeup on show day, like saves you a hell of a lot of money, or you know, like how to do your hair or match your tan up, like that. So and talking through just different things, like even what we've spoken about there in terms of like finding clothes that fit, and because it can put people off. They're like, oh, I can't get into that. They don't want to do bodybuilding, it'll put them off. So it's just like little things like that, really, just tips, I guess.
It's still like female bodybuilders of the past that you kind of that you look that you I would say inspired or anything like that.
So like everyone always asks me, like, did I ever look at a bodybuilder and think, oh, I want to look like her? I mean, there were people, I guess, on like social media, which like they don't exist anymore. But I mean, definitely like Corey Everson's one of my favorite. I love that old school shape. I think it's timeless. I love that shape, and that's the shape that I want to have. And you know, and kind of keep that going. And then there's like Danilyn Bailey's awesome. I think back in her competing days, she was awesome. Like she's still good now. You know, there's so many decent bodybuilders out there, but I'm much stuck in the past, I guess, with like shape. I
Yeah,
love the 80s shape. Like it's
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was attracted to bodybuilders when I seen them like in newsstands and stuff like
mm,
that.
yeah,
So, like
yeah,
I would kind of look at them like superheroes.
mm, yeah. Do you know what though as well? You don't see you see a lot of male bodybuilders in films. So like I think Corey was actually in that Van Damme film, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
yeah, the double impact. Yeah,
Yeah, and like she
yeah.
was sick in that, and I don't think they don't
She
do
was in
enough.
another movie. She was in another movie, but it wasn't popular. She was beating
No,
some guy up and stuff like that,
yeah,
tossing him around and stuff. Yeah,
but
she was.
they need to do more stuff like that, you know, and get
Yeah,
some like timeless looking. I mean, because I think she again she was super feminine, like she still had like the
yeah,
femininity, but she had that lovely shape as well. So I mean,
yeah.
it's you see a lot of male bodybuilders in films and stuff. Like you know,
Right.
I don't know if you've been with Martin Ford. He's a British guy.
Martin Ford. No, I
He's
haven't.
in all the Fast and Furious films. He's like covered in tattoos. He's tall. He's like 6'7" or something ridiculous.
I think I
Uh,
know who you're talking about.
yeah,
Did
he's English.
Did you see the recent one, the Fast and Furious movie?
No,
Oh,
is it bad?
it's not. I wouldn't say bad, but it's like it's time. It's getting silly. That's
Yeah, but
all
they
I
should
can
have
say.
stopped it around 2 or 3. Like they should have just been done if they've done it too long.
You know what? This is like they're making a trilogy now with X, the Fast X that recently
Yeah.
came out. There's two more parts, and
Oh my god.
supposedly that the 12th one is the last one. But it's getting silly because it's
They'll do a
like
spin-off.
yeah, they did the spinoff with The Rock and I heard they got other spinoffs coming with that, but it's kind of getting silly. Like they was this space on the last one, the previous one. Then I think they thinking about doing time travel in one of the movies. In one of I'm serious. I'm not I'm
Just
serious.
let it go. Then
Yeah,
someone's a bit obsessed and they don't want to let it
yeah,
go. You got to let it go
yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
done.
It's getting ridiculous. Like Rolando G, wow, you great female bodybuilder. Your shape is phenomenal, very feminine from what I can see.
Oh, thank you. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm hard. I had another. Oh, I can see the comments on here a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so NABA. I mean, they kind of I suppose they uphold the same sort of criteria, but they're not IFBB accredited. You can't win your IFBB Pro card through them. Like they're just a federation. Like they've been going for like decades. Actually, they've been going for a
yeah,
long.
yeah,
I think people. I'm not sure that. I think people like Lee Priest competed with like NABA and stuff like that as well. So it's been going for a long time, but it's not IFBB accredited. It's just one of our
oh.
federations. Here. But yeah, I mean it would be cool to see some more female bodybuilders in some films and stuff. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I mean, yeah, like yeah. I mean, they got like female bodybuilders like in comic books though. Well,
mm,
not like that, but like sometimes I'll look at the muscle growth comics and
mm,
so I don't know if you ever seen that, but it's like
no, it's not.
yeah, they it's this one. It's called Amazonia. It has
Mm,
it got stories of muscle women and they pick up guys and domination and all that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
crazy stuff.
I've not seen those, but I mean, like I said, it'd be cool just to do something like what Corey Everson, because there's not really. If you look at, I think there's another film where there was. I saw it the other day where a current IFBB pro. I think
Yeah,
she's a bodybuilder or physique. I can't remember.
Rachel
Um,
McLish.
maybe I think she's in like I think it's a horror film or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It might be
Oh,
her.
I think I know who what Kim Chavesky. She was in the cell.
Yeah, I
Was it
think it might be that one. Something
what
like that.
what
She
was
climbed.
it like in a dream world or something like that with
Yeah, it was
Jennifer
a bit.
Lopez?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I think that was the last one
yeah.
that I've seen that I know that did like a movie. But they never starred in it though. That was the thing. They never starred in it. Like, like Arnold Schwarzenegger starred in his
Mm,
movie.
mm,
It never was like that for them. Because it seemed like there were doors open a bit, but then I don't know what happened. Like you would see him in talk shows and all that stuff, but
Mm,
you stopped seeing them really. They weren't like so popular, I guess.
no, but I mean, we'll try and bring it back at some point.
Yeah. Deborah, may I ask, have you ever worked with some wood bodybuilder legend like Mike O'Hearn or well, you did mention Lee Priest. Jay Cutler just wanted to ask if you worked out with the men that have competed like you.
No, I haven't. I've met Lee Priest, so he came to the UK. And I've met him, but I haven't worked out with him. I mean, I would love to work out with like a pro male bodybuilder. I wouldn't mind. It'd be sick, but no, because especially where I am here, down the
Yeah.
bottom, there's no one. Further up, obviously, there's more. But I mean, it's definitely a goal for sure to work out with some like top end bodybuilders.
Do you like do you train with somebody that want to be a bodybuilder or anything like that?
So I train on my own, but I've also got a training partner, and like he's
Okay.
like one of my good friends. I train with him from time to time, and he's not a professional bodybuilder. And he doesn't compete, although he should compete. But
Yeah.
he just trains for the fun of it, and like he's decent to train with. But I train. I don't really train with women because there's not many women bodybuilders down this part of the
Yeah,
country.
yeah, I've heard.
But I mean, again, if I'm further up the country and I've got friends that are female bodybuilders that are pros and stuff, they want to train. Like, I'll happily train with them as well.
I would you like I don't know if I asked this question, but maybe you mentioned it. But how would you go about getting your pro card? Can you walk with can you walk with me on that again? Like, how would you get your if you competed again? Like, where would you go to get your
So
pro?
So I need to. So again, if I'm going to compete again, like I said, I'm going to try figure again as well. So
Okay.
you need to do a regional. So you need to do a regional to qualify for a pro qualifier. So regional I do here in the UK, and then the pro qualifier is obviously dependent on what's available on the calendar. I'd either if there's one available in the UK, I'll do that one. But I'm happy to fly abroad. So I went to Finland last year. I was happy to do that.
Yeah.
So they do them all over the place. So wherever there would be a pro qualifier that I'd be ready for, I would then obviously fly out and compete there, try and get it there. And if I didn't, I'll just keep going in the year to try and get it from different qualifiers. But I mean, like I said, if I compete in figure, there's always enough athletes in figure. They're always enough.
Yeah.
Um, Again, physique, if I'm there, I'll try it. If there's enough athletes and I can get it, great as well. But that's just really what you have to do. You have to do a regional because obviously I competed last year. By the time I compete again next year, that regional won't transfer over, or that like you have to requalify again. So yeah, that's how I have to do it really.
Oh, okay, okay. I just asked. I just want to, cause it's a lot that you're telling me. Like with the
Mm,
what I'm learning. I'm learning
that's all
like
right.
bits and pieces.
That's all
Cause
right.
I mean, cause like when you first started, how did you retain the knowledge that you got in bodybuilding?
So I literally just had to do it as I went along. Obviously, I like spoke to different people, research stuff online, and like I said, just in the gym when I first started, I had a couple of friends that I'd made there, and they were already into the bodybuilding sort of scene. And I went and watched some shows, which I think is the best thing to do. You go and watch some shows, watch people
Yeah,
compete, see what it's about,
yeah,
and just ask them questions. Like what do you have to do to get into like stage preparation, posing, and I just literally just asked people as I went along and follow people, watch stuff on YouTube. Like I said, just researched it and just did it bit by bit. And anything that I didn't know, I would then just go and look it up because that's that at the time, like 2014, it's not like it is now.
right,
There's so much information you can get now. It wasn't
yeah.
really the same. So I just had to, find bits, learn, retain it, and then, just trial and error as well to see what worked for me and what didn't.
Yeah, I always had like a fetish of female bodybuilders, and I would kind of like display it on my YouTube channels and stuff. So that's how far I would go with the
Yeah.
bodybuilder. But then when I started kind of like listening to certain people, female bodybuilding channel. This guy I know, his name is All the Rage George Page.
Mm.
He has like a Muscle Talk Monday, and certain times, I would listen. I would come in the show too and ask
Mm.
some questions about it because I didn't know like certain things. I didn't even know what conditioning means. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure about. I'm serious.
Yeah, but people don't unless you're in it. Unless you're in it, people don't
Yeah,
know what any of the terminology
yeah,
means. Like, if I said it to an average person, they would be like, "What are you talking about?" They probably think I'm talking about hair
right.
conditioning or something like that. They wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's a different realm. Like,
Yeah.
my apologies. Your dogs are not the kinds of dog breeds I just named. You look like the little guy you have mixed Chihuahua
Yeah, he's a
Chico.
Chihuahua. Yeah, he's a Chihuahua. I got two Chihuahuas and two Staffordshire Bull Terriers. They're kind of like pit bulls basically. So I got
Yeah.
two of each.
He also says Rolando G, the Fast franchise is at this point. Don't support it. Yeah,
Nah,
Rolando, I understand.
it's enough now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would love to see, more female bodybuilders like in movies and
Mm,
television. Cause like I remember like just watching them in talk shows, it was kind of exciting to see them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's they've. Are you familiar with gladiators?
Yeah,
Or
American
yeah,
Gladiators, yeah.
yeah.
They
So they're
did
doing
they
that. They're doing
in
it
the
again now.
yeah, in the UK too. I think they had a UK Gladiator.
Yeah, yeah. So they're starting it back up again now.
Okay.
So they've got all their gladiator. I had someone message me and they're like, "Oh, you should apply for this," and I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, it'd
And
be
then
great if you did. That'd be
well,
cool.
I'll have to do the next one now because they've got all their contenders, so I'll apply for it next time. But
Yeah,
I was like, nah, I don't think I can do that. And then I looked at some
yeah.
of, no offense to them, I looked at some of the gladiators that they picked, and I was like, oh, I could have done that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you look great. I mean, you have a
oh, thank
nice
you.
physique. I mean, I think it's the athleticism, that they
Mm,
focus on. I mean, I wanted to talk with a gladiator. Her name was Ice. I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah, I wanted to talk, but she told me that she's not really into virtual interviews, and from what she told me. So
mm,
I just kind of. But it would have been great, just to talk with one of them. I've seen some of the
yeah,
interviews. Well, her and Ray Holt, if I'm if I get her name right, the one she passed away not too
yeah,
long ago. Yeah, like years ago they did an interview and stuff, and they was talking about how when they first started, they had to like do tryouts, of course, like
mm,
anything, and just and then like after like the show was over, some of them hit hard times and stuff.
yeah.
Some of them passed away, and
Mm.
it was a bit sad. It was a bit sad to yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's normally what happens. Like people view them as like these, they're like gods, I suppose, to some people, but
yeah,
they're still normal people, and they'll still sort of succumb
right.
to stuff after that. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot different now as well. I mean, the gladiators here back in the day. Like if you look, there's a one I follow. I think she's called Kim Lightning. Like she's
Kim
one of the old.
Lightning.
Yeah, and she actually does bodybuilding competing now. She does compete, and
Mm,
like she put an old photo up of all of them, and they're all in insane shape as well. And they're
yeah.
that's back in like I think it was like the 90s they did that. So still it'll be interesting to see what they're doing this time.
Yeah, I mean, my advice, you maybe want to see about that,
Mm, yeah,
you
well,
know,
maybe we'll see.
it's
We'll see when they take the next applications in. We'll see.
yeah, that'd be cool. But I think that's it. I mean, I appreciate having you. Yeah, anything you wanna give shout outs or tell the audience, anything like that?
Um, I don't know really. I mean, just generally, if like you're trying to start up like a bodybuild, like just bodybuilding journey, just go for it. Just make sure that you're just like eating well, training hard, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
All right. All right,
Cheers.
folks. All right. All right. Cheerio.
Bye. Cheers. Cheers. Bye.
All right.